Okay, hello and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today on learning 7 ways to help face the challenges you are facing in your grief and feel better. So you are suffering the worst imaginable pain ever. You have suffered the loss of your child, your heart is broken, and you're lost. I understand your pain. I have experienced child loss twice. In 1990, I was on top of the world and I just purchased our first home with my husband, and we were excited about the arrival of our first child. Courtney was born in August of 1990. We were the typical dual income family with a newborn. We had friends we enjoyed celebrating holidays with, spending time with, and getting together for dinner. We watched as Courtney grew and developed. We marveled at how she could sit up, hold her bottle, and how she rolled across the floor. She was so close to crawling, and we were preparing to take it to the next level in baby-proofing the house. We also talked about the other children we wanted and when that would happen. I stayed at home for the first 6 weeks and enjoyed every moment of it. I returned to work for a company that had round-the-clock operations. It was difficult for me to go back to work. On top of that, my husband traveled for his sales job. With his travel schedule and my work schedule, it was tricky to find daycare for a 6-week-old. We found a woman that did daycare out of her home and was willing to watch Courtney beyond traditional work hours. She was like a grandmother to Courtney, and we trusted her. And I was at work on a Wednesday in May of 1991 and helping some coworkers wrap up some paperwork. We were talking about going out afterwards to relax and have some fun. Instead, I received a phone call at work that something was wrong with Courtney and that I needed to get to the hospital as soon as possible. After a harrowing drive through rush hour, I arrived at the hospital to find my dad and another man standing in the emergency room driveway. When I got close enough to the man, his name tag read Chaplain, and I immediately knew my precious daughter Courtney was dead. As any mother would know, I was devastated and heartbroken. I did not know where to turn for help. My mom, sister, and a few close friends were my bedrock. They helped me. They were my only support. I didn't know what else to turn to, so I leaned on them and somehow managed to learn to live with my grief and move forward. So after losing Courtney, the conversation to have more children intensified. We were not replacing her by any means. We already planned to have more children, and we had Brittany, Connor, and Hannah. And this time I did not return to work. We decided that staying at home with the children was more important than any income I could ever earn. I continued to raise my kids from home until I became a single mom. By now they were 10, 13, and 15 years old. And for the most part, they grew up in a typical divorce household. They shared time with their dad and with me, participated in sports, and went to school. Both Brittany and Connor moved out when they were 21 and 18 years old. Once they moved out, I had little influence on them, and I was no longer involved in their day-to-day lives. They were becoming adults. On December 14, 2018, I was driving home on a Friday afternoon in rush hour traffic. Traffic was bumper to bumper at 5 miles per hour, and I just wanted to get home. I was thinking about the week, what was happening for the weekend, and laying plans for Christmas, which was just a few weeks away. My thoughts were interrupted with my phone ringing. The words I heard from my daughter, Brittany, were, "Mom, I don't know how to tell you this, but Connor is dead." I screamed at the top of my lungs, "No, no, no, how could this be? How could I lose another child? This was horrible, and I could not believe what I was hearing." Since that fateful day in December, I, Peggy Green, am here standing with you, bearing witness to your loss, my loss, our loss. In those 27 years between losing Courtney and Connor, I have seen both my parents, my sister, and a niece and cousins pass away. Additionally, I have divorced my husband of 22 years, became the sole provider of my children. When people say, "Peggy, you've been through a lot," I pause to acknowledge it. To me, it's nothing extraordinary because it is my life. To others, I've been through the ringer and they marvel at how I am standing here today. They ask me, Peggy, how have you made it? Peggy, how have you survived? Peggy, will you teach me how you did it? I said yes. I said yes, because I believe other grieving moms can learn to live with their child loss, deserve to be healthy, and live a joy-filled life. It has been a culmination of life experiences that has allowed me to be here, to be able to do that. Life loss is a journey, and recognizing that was my first step in being able to move forward through my losses. You never get over your losses, but rather move through it. I called upon those friends again, a few of whom were with me from losing Courtney. I also amassed tools from attending Al-Anon, which is a 12-step support program for friends and family of alcoholic. And both Brittany and Connor went through their own 12-step recovery programs. And as a parent, I learned things like the 3 C's. I didn't cause, I can't cure, and I can't control others. What I can do is take responsibility for myself. That was huge in my healing and still is. I had a choice to make. That choice was either to heal or live a broken life. As a health and wellness expert, I also know the importance of self-care in times of trauma and tragedy. And as difficult as it is, I focused on simple things like drinking water, eating foods that supported me, sleep, and exercise. And grief does terrible things to our bodies. You may have experienced 1 or 2 or many of these symptoms, such as fatigue and anxiety and weight gain. This is just the things that people responded to: depression, inflammation, aches and pains, alcohol, fear, lack of focus, and weight loss. So in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to teach you 7 ways to face these health challenges that surface after child loss or possibly got worse because of it. We'll be talking about 1, exercise, 2, hydration, 3, sleep, 4, breath work, 5, affirmations, 6, essential oils, and 7, nutrition. Exercise is the root of all healing. Just last week, when I was on another webinar, one of my guests could not believe she would feel better after exercise and that her mental state would improve. She questioned the science behind it. But Sarah signed up for my 8-week coaching program and found out for herself that exercise actually does help. She has more energy and she has less aches and pains. Exercise releases endorphins, which are powerful chemicals in your brain that energize your spirits and make you feel good. For someone coping with grief, exercise can be a distraction and help prevent depression by interrupting cycles of negative thoughts. But I can hear it now. The objections why you can't or will not exercise. You may say it's too hard. You may think you don't have the energy. You believe you have to gym membership, or it's necessary to have those expensive clothes. You don't know how to do it or when to do it, and you have to be a CrossFitter to get any benefit. You don't have the time. And let me share, as a former personal trainer, I've seen and heard them all. Rest assured, all of those statements are false. So allow me to explain. As I originally mentioned, exercise releases feel-good chemicals into your body. When these natural occurring chemicals start working through your body craves more. It is like getting that high without drugs, caffeine, or sugar. This is a good thing. And physical health helps to improve mental health. It reduces tension, stress, and improves memory function. So the most difficult part of exercise is taking that first step, taking a 10-minute walk around the block, around the office, or down and back to your mailbox helps start the release of those endorphins. If you say you don't have the time to exercise, you can exercise in segments. Set aside 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, and you're off to a wonderful start. It is convenient, this adds up together. That means that the 10 minutes you do in the morning also are a benefit when you add the 10 minutes in the afternoon or night. And so if you're new to exercise, I suggest you start with walking. Take a minute, take 10 minutes, walk and note how far you go in those 10 minutes. Did you make it to the corner and back? Write it down in your journal, write it on your calendar. The next time you walk, pay attention if you walk just a little bit further, maybe past the next house or into the next building. Challenge yourself to be better every day, no matter how much better, just better. Our second tip here is hydration. Our bodies are made of 60% water. Our organs use that water to function. The brain and heart is 73% water, the lungs 83%, skin 64%, and bones 31% water. It is no wonder that when our body is dehydrated, our thinking is clouded, and we cannot focus. In grief, we may even feel that our heart is literally breaking. In the grief work that I have done with others, I've heard the comment by so many that they feel they age 10 years, or they oftentimes have difficulty breathing. This is your body, your organs crying out. They need attention and need some water to function properly. So people are also confused on the amount of water they're supposed to drink. We hear 8 ounces glasses of water, which is 64 ounces. That's a good starting point. Now let's customize it to your situation. In normal circumstances, it is recommended to drink 1/2 your body weight in ounces of water. For example, a 180-pound person would drink 80 ounces of water. So I've taken 180 times 0.5. So now you see that the 8 glasses of water, which are 64 ounces, come up short to the 90 ounces. So it's more customized. And then with the added stress of grief, I suggest increasing that percentage to 60%. And so back to our example, a 180-pound person will drink 108 ounces of water. And I must say a common reaction to that, and what you're probably thinking is, whoa, that is a lot of water, and I will be spending my days in the bathroom. You are correct. Initially, you will be using the restroom more frequently. However, think of your body as a sponge. When the sponge is dried up, most of the water you put on it runs through it or runs off it. And then as you continue to add more water, the sponge retains more and more and more. You are like that sponge. Your body will get used to having more water, and the need to use the restroom will diminish. With more water, look for increased energy, healthier looking skin, and clearer thinking as you add that water. So number 3 is sleep, the time that our bodies restore themselves. This is when the brain goes on autopilot and the unnecessary bodily functions slow down, allowing for repair and restoration. It is common for people who experience a change in their sleeping patterns in the days, weeks, and months following the loss of a loved one. Grievers may have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Or on the other end of the spectrum, grievers may find it difficult to stay awake. I've often heard, when the going gets tough, the tough go to bed. That's not always a good solution, though. Here are some reasons why a lost traveler might have difficulty sleeping after a death. Intrusive thoughts, worries and anxieties, bad dreams, trouble sleeping in the house, in the room, in the bed where they shared with our loved one, and disorders like depression, insomnia, and PTSD. So for some grievers, lack of sleep is so pervasive that it's impossible to ignore its impact. But for many, the loss of sleep seems marginal. And when you're dealing with more obvious and painful stressors, going through the loss, it's easy to overlook the impact fatigue might have on your emotional outlook. However, if you are not cognizant of the importance of a good night's sleep, then you're far less likely to see it as a necessary part in your healing. The impact of lack of sleep is far-reaching, and some of those consequences are like low frustration or low tolerance, easily overwhelmed, irritability, anger, becoming hostile, greater depression, greater emotional reactivity, being less friendly, less elated, and even less empathetic, even though you're in those circumstances, possibly having negative thoughts, hungrier and apt to eat more, a weaker immune response, and weight gain. So how do we get better sleep? One of the things I like to focus on is sleep hygiene. Now you're asking yourself, what is she talking about? Improving your sleep hygiene is an important piece of self-care. So what is it? It is the art of preparing yourself to go to bed, including things like washing your face, brushing your teeth, and getting into your jammies. In today's tech-filled world, it also includes removing technology from your bedroom. Instead of your bedroom being relaxing, the TV blares nightly news of tragedy and devastation. And cell phones, they emit blue lights that stimulate your brain rather than allowing it to relax. Social media is a black sinkhole that draws you in and will not let you out. Add this to the fact you are already in a place of grief and unrest. It is no wonder you have difficulty sleeping. Now, serotonin, the sleep hormone, increases with the more sleep you get. So the more sleep you get, the more serotonin and the better sleep. So getting quality sleep is a major step in helping your body to heal. It is during that sleep that your physical body heals and your brain relaxes. So some tips on getting some good sleep hygiene. One is remove the TV from your bedroom. Remember, the bedroom is a place for rest and relaxation. Last thing that you want to hear before you go into sleep is negative thoughts, because that's what your brain remembers overnight. Remove other electronics as well, a laptop, tablet, and your cell phone. And if you are using electronics as your alarm, buy an old-fashioned alarm clock. Remember to make a habit of washing your face and brushing your teeth, getting on your jammies, read a non-electronic book, complete your affirmations, and we'll be talking about those in a moment, and then even journal. Our fourth step is to do breath work, and I recognize you maybe have difficulty breathing. Stress, anxiety, and loss causes breathing to become shallow, quickened, and reduces oxygen flow. Lack of oxygen contributes to headaches, fatigue, and foggy thinking. It is important to remember to breathe. And this is one of the techniques that works very well in grief, in breathing. It is called the box technique. So think of your breathing pattern as a box. In the upper left-hand corner, draw a horizontal line to the right. This line represents your inhalation. Now draw a line straight down. This is exhalation. Draw it back again to the left, representing inhalation. And then next line up is connecting to the starter point, and that is your inhalation. You've created a box pattern to follow for your breath work. So what you do is you take 4 seconds or count to 4 as you breathe in. So it's breathe, 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 exhale, breathe, or exhale, 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 in, and out, out, out. And make sure that you're filling up your lungs with fresh air. And then when you exhale, that you're taking it all out. So repeat that pattern anywhere from 5 to 10 times. And when you're doing it, think just about that breathing pattern, because that helps to release any other thoughts that you've got going on. It slows down your heart rate, and the quietness will allow you to think, hear your higher power, maybe come up with answers you've been seeking. So do this breathing when you have anxiety, run into a stressful life situation, or feel like life has just gotten too heavy again. Now, it can also be used as prevention. If you are struggling with going to the grocery store out in public, you can do this technique before leaving the house. You may want to repeat it in the car before going in, and you can even do it while you're out in public. No one's going to know. So do this often and wherever you need it. The fifth step we have is affirmations. And I know when something bad, horrible, tragedy like child loss happens, it is easy to go into a tailspin of negativity. Everything becomes a problem. Your attitude about life changes. You feel robbed of your joy, happiness, and future. This is a natural response to be angry. However, adding some positivity through affirmations helps process your grief and turn that around. Affirmations are said in the present tense, saying them in the present tense works with that subconscious mind. So like when we solely rely on the conscious mind to make change, it prevents us from moving forward. It is those inner thoughts that drive our decisions and is a great place to make changes. So how you do an affirmation is you write it on its own index card, repeat to yourself the affirmation for 20 seconds per card, and then do this exercise 2 to 3 times per day. And what I suggest is that you have anywhere from 8 to 12 affirmations so that works into your schedule, and those are things that you can focus on. So here's how you would do that. So picking an affirmation and says, I've set a time for 20 seconds, and I just say, I'm okay. I am okay. I am okay. I am okay. I repeat that for 20 seconds. Then I move on to the next one. God loves me. God loves me. God loves me. God loves me, and so on. So those are 2 affirmations, and I wanted to give you a couple others. And so I am strong. I am loved. I am beautiful. It is okay to take time to grieve. I will feel grief, but I will not wallow in it. I choose love. I can make it through my grief, and I will. I let go of my sorrow, but hold on to love for my loved one. I heal with curiosity and hope. My grief is the opportunity for love and for me to spread my wings. I honor my loved one by living for those who live, and I have joy. Our 6th tip here is with essential oils. Now, essential oils do not take away the grief, but they help ease the feelings around the loss. And as I mentioned, your lungs can be affected by grief. It is common knowledge in ancient Chinese medicine that grief sits in the lungs. This is where difficulty breathing surfaces, and then you're open to things like colds and coughs. Now, essential oils have been known to relieve anxiety, reduce stress, and tensions. They can also boost energy, support the immune system, and aid in sleep. Essential oils have been around for hundreds of years, and we've only been discovering recently their health benefits. Essential oils are made from aromatic plants involving roots, flowers, fruit peels, leaves, twigs, and even grasses. And you can use them in a diffuser, apply it to the skin, consume it orally, but make sure that you're only consuming the food-grade oils, and you can wear it in jewelry. Now, each plant has different properties which help with our emotions and feelings. They can be used individually or combined to maximize their effect, especially if you have several things going on. And I personally use Young Living essential oils. Now, our 7th and final tip here is nutrition. And I understand that cooking is the last thing on your mind. Without good nutrition, however, it is nearly impossible to function on a day-to-day basis. You know you should eat, but just do not have the energy or will to cook. I understand. It's easy to go for the foods that are comforting. They may bring good memories, they may make you feel good for a short period of time, or they just may be easy to access. In the long run, those quick and easy meals do not serve you. They may feel good for 30, 60 minutes. It is after those 60 minutes that impacts your mood in a negative way. You can simply turn from happy to sad. And typically the sugar high ends and you become lethargic, unable to think, and ready to take a nap. Not only that, but what happens to your health? The rise and fall of insulin frequently like this can contribute to diabetes. Your immune system is weakened, leaving you open to the cold, and a rise in oxidative stress, damaging cells, and other medical challenges. Eating healthy is not necessarily difficult. It takes developing a new habit, though. The new habit consists of making different decisions regarding what you're eating. Instead of eating processed foods, choose fresh fruits and vegetables. Fresh fruits and vegetables have antioxidants in them that boost your immune system. They can also provide more energy. Another suggestion is to reduce or eliminate all processed sugars. Sugar does not serve you, so stop eating candy and sweets and replace them with healthy snacks like cut veggies. Eating this way can keep you from getting sick, giving you the nutrition you need with inflammation, anxiety, and even help with your mental health. You may find that eating a plant-based diet and limiting your meat intake can be instrumental in helping with your overall health. You may even consider a plant-based supplement. Coming from a personal training background, I have researched, and the only one I feel comfortable taking myself and recommending is Juice Plus. You receive the nutrition your body needs in either capsule or gummy form. Now, these 7 tips are exactly what we talk about in my consultation. We look at ways you can take charge of your health and heal in your grief. Remember, exercise produces endorphins to help with your mental and physical state. Your body is 60% water, and if you want to have more energy and clearer thinking, drink at least 1/2 your body weight in ounces of water. Sleep is when your body restores itself. Improves your quality of sleep by following some simple sleep hygiene techniques. When you are having difficulty breathing, use the box method to slow down your heart rate and ease your anxiety. Your subconscious thoughts control your emotions and how you react. So use these affirmations to feed it positive thoughts. Another option to help ease anxiety, support your immune system, and help with sleep is essential oils. Finally, nutrition plays a huge role in your health. Remember to reduce sugar, eat fresh fruits and veggies. This will help support your immune system, improve your energy, and help with mental focus. So just yesterday when I was on a consultation call, a newly bereaved mother felt so lost and lonely. She had no idea where to turn for help or that there was even help available. She signed up for my 8-week coaching program, and she is starting to feel there is hope. Do you want to move forward? Do you want to feel better? Now is the time to think about your future and what it looks like. You can either decide to do nothing, take the risk of having a broken heart forever, or intentionally heal by working with a grief coach. Now, I work with clients over Zoom one-to-one, just like this. We figure out where you need the most help, and I customize a program to fit your needs. I can honestly say, though, I'm not sure if my coaching program is for everyone. I can say that each one of you deserve a chance to find out. So register for a complimentary 50-minute consultation. So text the word consultation to 719-789-6808 to receive the link. And again, text consultation to 719-789 to receive the link. In our 50 minutes, you will have the opportunity to tell your story. I will listen. I will ask you some questions and make sure I understand you. Then I will let you know what I have going on, and you can ask me questions you want. We will make a decision if it makes sense to work together. I understand what you're going through. I've lost 2 children. I care, I understand, and you are not alone. I started working with mothers who lost a child because when I went through my first loss, the only support I had was my mom, sister, and a few friends. I struggled to find joy and happiness. My husband did not understand. He was not there for me. I felt alone, and I was on the journey by myself. I know what it's like to have your world turned upside down. In the past, I've learned how to deal with death, the loss of my parents, sister, elder relatives, and friends. I did not know then what those experiences were setting me up for, but I know now. I have a calling to help other mothers travel this journey. I bear witness to their loss like no other person can. We are in the Child Loss Club together. I am their resource who will listen, care, and understand what they are going through. Now, I really don't care if we work together or not. You now know that I'm a grief coach, and based on what I've seen, I think each one of you should work with someone, get some support that you so desperately want. You want that help. What is important is that you move forward. Before you make a decision, there are 3 criteria I recommend you use to help you decide who you will work with. Number 1, consider, does the person you want to work with have practical experience with child loss? Remember, I've been through it twice. Number 2, does the person have the passion to be working as a grief coach? I believe lost travelers deserve to have support and guidance to learn to live with their grief and find joy. And number 3, have they personally used the tools and techniques they offer? The tools I share with you are 100% responsible for me being here and able to offer you support. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to connecting.